Hey everybody, welcome back to Kreationz DIY, and today me and Meadow are going to put a slop sink in this basement downstairs. So if you've ever got yelled at for coming in having dirty shoes or just carrying dirty tools into the house or anything, you know what I've been going through. So what we're going to do is we're going to make a sink right by this downstairs door so that you can wash your dirty hands, tools, gardening tools, shoes, whatever you need. I guess Meadow got bored. And you won't have to drag that through the house. So we're going to put the plumbing in, and we're going to put the sink in today, and we're going to put it right here in this area, and we're going to attach it to the new plumbing that we're putting in for the washing machine. So let me get a little bit of work done, and I'll show you the sink that we're going to put in and some of the piping, and we'll get right into it. All right, so as you can see, Meadow has the sink right here, and she's going to show you what we're putting in today. Oh, thanks for the high five, buddy. So this is the sink, and it's made out of plastic. It's pretty big. I think it's like 2.5 by 2.5 feet. I forget how many gallons it is. It goes like this. So you could drill holes in here and put your hot and cold water and your little faucet tap in here as well, or you could have something that's higher that hangs over if you already have a mount on the wall. This comes with easy to put in little legs made out of the same material. So once you put the leg in here, if you want to make sure it's more secure, you can get a little self-tapper screw and put it through, and just real easy. That way when the head touches all the way down, you don't go anymore because you don't want to break the threads out. We'll put one in each, and then this leg's never going to come out again. Also on the bottom, the leg also has a hole here, so you could either mount it in wood, or we could use some cement lags and lag this into this cement. That way it never bumps or falls over or anything ever happens. So this also has a pre-made threaded drain plug on the bottom, so you can put a piece of pipe there. So we are going to use this trap here, and it's just got one with the screw in. So we're going to put this trap, and we're going to put the gasket in, of course, and then we're going to screw this in. And then the P-trap will be right here, and it'll go to the little pipe that we just put into the floor for the washing machine. So this is basically what we're going to do for the sink. I kind of already measured out all the little pieces. A lot of this stuff you can buy in a kit, so you don't have to worry, like, do I need this piece? How do I get this circle? Where's this long piece come from? This is a 1.5 inch kit, so any local store or like hardware store should have this stuff. If it doesn't, then just ask somebody who works there and they can help you design it. If you're having any problems, leave a comment down below and one of us will get back to you as well. So I'm going to go ahead and put the legs in here. I'm going to set some of this up. I'm going to get it ready and mock it out, show you where it's going to be. And then we're going to start putting some of this plumbing all together and hook up some water so you can see the slop sink in action. All right, so when you're using this plumbing stuff, you have to see that sometimes these will come off. They're not linked. These pieces that don't have the thread on them need a gasket. So this is a tapered end. You see the gasket is tapered as well. The gasket will sit down in there. And then on the inside here, you can see where the gasket goes down. So if this piece was here, this piece, you see how it pushes down in? And then this pushes, when this piece comes down on and screws on, it pushes that down.
You're sorry to break up your video, but I just want you to know I put the gasket on top of the tapered end just to show you that it's the same. If you have the tapered end, you do not need the gasket. The tapered end, where I show that it looks like the gasket, is basically a gasket itself. You don't put a gasket over that. But the ones that don't have that tapered end is the one you put the gasket on.
So it makes a gasket. So if you do any car work or anything, there's a gasket. So you see how it looks like it's in there? I left the pipe off of this one and put the top on. So you can see that this piece pushes the gasket down. But this has the round topper piece that's inside there. So it would right here, that makes a seal. So each one of these is going to get a seal. You can also use one of these on an end here and put the gasket on to screw on. And just don't go that tight. You don't want to pull this out. You just leave it in there, put the gasket on, and screw it on to the next one. All right, so here's the bottom of the sink. We have attached this piece here, and now we have this piece that comes down. So I'm going to show you how to put the gasket on and the ring. So the ring twists onto the bottom piece, so the open part of the ring goes up on the hole, and then you see the gasket? So it's flat on one side and tapered on the other side, really thin, really thick. See how the taper? The flat side goes up. So I would just put it like 1/4 of an inch up. And that holds this, right? Now in between here, see the little crack in between this piece that I'm sliding and this piece? When you screw this down, it'll squish this rubber piece and all this will close up around the connection piece. So this actually goes down in here, and you can adjust it to the height that you want, but we're going to put it all the way in. So we're just going to push it up with the gasket. Now that seated the gasket inside this bottom P-trap, and then we're just going to go down real easy. See, I'm not even putting any pressure on it. Just kind of, I mean, it's plastic, just kind of let it go. It'll do its own thing, you know? Now, once I get it tight, I'm gonna kind of put it against the wall here where I want it. And then I'm gonna aim the pipe about where it's gonna be. So we're aiming right here, you know? So instead of coming straight, we went back. And then I'm just gonna tighten this down. I'm gonna hold the pipe in place, because if I don't, it'll keep moving. We don't want to do that. I'm gonna hold the pipe in place. I'm gonna tighten it a little bit. Now, once all the pipes are connected, everything's up and good, then you can tighten these down and put a little force on them, torque. But we're not gonna do that because we don't wanna mush up the gasket, and we want it to move a little bit while we're putting the pipes together. So we're gonna get a little bit more work done. I'm gonna measure the center pipe and cut it out, show you how to cut it and put that in. So if you open the door here or close the door, you can stand in this area, take your shoes off, throw them right into the sink here. Now, if you look down underneath here, I connected that piece with the gasket to a straight piece. Then this straight piece goes into what's called a P-trap. And then that comes up to the solid drain. Then the drain goes into an ABS converter. Then I'm gonna cut a piece of pipe right here in between these two pieces to length. I'm going to go ahead and use the same cement that we cemented the pipe in our other video. We cemented this pipe in and did all this to fix this pipe for the washing machine. But now we're gonna connect this setup to the slop sink and put the washing machine hose right in the sink, and then have more than one item. So if you want to see how I put this in and set it up down here and use the used everything to set this up, you're gonna have to watch our how to connect the washing machine up video. This is the sink video. So you see everything that's done. Let me measure this pipe now. I'm gonna measure this pipe and I'm gonna mock it up and see about where it is. After we mock it up, I'm going to show you where to put the glue. We're going to put the glue in. And there's a little trick when you do this kind of stuff. You have to hold it for about 5 seconds. I always hold it for 10 because it's only 10 seconds. Because sometimes these are tapered on the inside and the pipe will push itself out. That's how it makes a seal, by being tapered instead of straight. So if you put glue on this, you push it together and you don't have any force, it'll squeeze itself out a little bit. Even if it's 2 millimeters, it could still cause a leak in the future. We don't want to deal with that, so let's do it right the first time. Alrighty, so we got the sink set up where it's going to be,
with the little back piece done here. We have the pipes put on. We have the adapter piece screwed in, and then now this is for the pipe, the bigger pipe. And then we have the pipe receiver on the other side, and that's already put in. Now I took a measurement between this pipe, and it came out to 31 inches and a half. So I'm taking my piece of pipe here, and I measure it out with this little measure, 31 and a half. And then I'm just gonna take this little handsaw. Oh, I started to cut somewhere. So I'm gonna just take this little handsaw and just gonna cut through this, you know. So, just with one hand, you see I can cut through it pretty easy. You don't need really a tool, just, that's a reciprocating saw blade on a hand tool. Go ahead and cut this out. We're gonna get the cement ready. We don't need the primer this time because we're just going from plastic to plastic. And then we're gonna glue this in. So let me get some work done. All right, so now that we've used our little handsaw here, we are going to clean this edge up just a little more. So you see all this dirty stuff, all this little stuff came out, so I just kind of used my fingernail. If you have a file, it's the best to just take the file and just rub it around on the inside of this here, the inside lip. Even the outside lip, just, you know, if this is going inside, you don't want a little piece of that stuff where you can't make a complete seal and it's bubbled up. So if you don't have, then maybe you could just use a piece of the file and just rub, you know, and you just want to get all that this little boogery stuff off of there. So now we have our little piece, and we're just going to go ahead and take our cement again. I'm going to undo it. I'm going to put a little cement on the on the inside here, and then a little cement on the outside of the male part of the connection, and I'm just going to stick this one in. These are the end cap pieces that screw on to these, but they'll take this, so you can make a long piece of pipe connection. So now that I cut the connection, we're going to pack this up with a little bit of glue. And then, so we just mush some glue in there and put it on here. Make sure it's all the way in. See how it's pinched all the way in where the glue mark is? And then you want to hold it, you know. And then after you count to 10, let it go. Now that's glued together. Now we're going to do the same thing on the other side. Now I'm going to show you without the glue what happens. So people put the glue on, they stick this on, and they don't hold it. And when it's swollen in there, the glue almost acts like a lubricant, and it pushes this back a little bit. So it's about halfway on. You don't see it scoop back, and then it starts to leak around here. Then you have to bust this off or cut this out and then do it all over again. So it is tapered in here. You see it's tapered? It's tapered right there at the lip, and it's tapered all the way down. So what you want to do is put the glue on and hold it for 10 seconds. So let's do it. Let's do it one more time. So we don't need all this. Just a little bit of glue. I'm going to go around in a circle here. Put the glue all up. And then we're going to put it on. Remember? I twist it when I put it on, so I get a full all the way in, and then while I'm holding it, I look at it, see how far down it is down in there, you know, and I just keep holding it for about 10 seconds, and then there. So now I know it's going to set. So we're going to let this sit for half an hour, and then we're going to screw this pipe under the sink and into the drain, and then we're going to let it sit for another hour. And then we're going to pour a gallon of water in there and see what happens. All right, so I screwed the pipe in on both sides. I'm still waiting for the caulking to dry here. I'm going to do a second application, but it did not leak. I poured a couple gallons of water down through. I connected it here on the other side. So you see the two couplers. No glue came out, even though I used sparingly on either side, and it works great. All set up. So I can eat, and then I'm just gonna put the faucet in here. But this video is only for the sink. So we put the sink in, we put the pipes in, and there it is. And now I'm just gonna put the flap of the washing machine in here as well. So we'll do another video of how to put the faucet in this week when we buy one. Give us a like, thumbs up, subscribe. If you want to learn how to do some of these basic like house construction mechanics or remodels, you know, give us a subscribe. You can do some of this stuff on your own. You see, I'm doing it on my own. I'm saving hundreds of dollars. I probably have, with the tub and all the pipe and everything, maybe $100 into this and the gas to the store. And you couldn't get a plumber, yeah, you watching this video trying to figure this out, because a plumber costs $150 just to come to your house before he or she does anything, you know? So let's take this journey together. We're gonna remodel this rental property. You learn some upgrades. Let's go.